I'm Van Rustic, and today I have a game for you in my Saipan. I haven't played many games in my Saipan because after I bought it, it was just oversaturated. So I only played maybe 2 games where I'd be playing me and another Saipan against 2 other Saipans, and it just wasn't that fun. So I hopped into it again today, and this was my first game in the live 5.5 um, patch, which I just want to note that there are a couple bugs that you can't see in the replay because I have patched it since then. But I'm going to explain that there's some weird things that I do during the battle that I have to explain of why I did it. But anyway, this is a game on the Two Brothers map. This is the Saipan, which is the Tier 7 Premium US Carrier. Um, I have a Tier for captain, which I have expert rear gunner, faster torpedo rearm, my faster torpedoes, and then also aircraft servicing expert to get the planes out faster. Which it could be different, not as needed in the Saipan just because it has so few planes, so the planes resurface pretty quickly. So getting back to the game, I go up north with my torpedoes. I see a pentacle, I don't really want to go there, so I send them along just to see what I can spot. I'm also sending off my fighters in the other direction, but now on the map comes a CV, or a cruiser. So I need to go see what it is, and I see that it's, oh, Cleveland, no, I'm going to get out of there. I do not mess with Clevelands with my planes. I just put them on the other side of the map. I don't care. I'm not going to lose my ships and my planes. And especially when you only have 3 per squadron, it's just not worth it. Um, so I kept my fighters going along the eastern side, and lo and behold, I find all of the enemy planes. This is what I was talking about in my last video in the Ryujo. I don't like to clump them all together because, as you can see, the Saipan's planes are much faster, and I'm catching up to them, and I'm gonna do a strafing run on them, and they're, you know, granted it's not the best strafing run ever, but it's, all of them are at the same spot. So as you can see, I'm doing that, and because I also spotted the Ranger, I'm going to bring my torpedo bombers and take care of him, because obviously he doesn't feel like moving. So why let him live when he doesn't feel like moving? So I'm going to go another strafing strike on my other fighter squadron and take out at least one of their squadrons. So they still have to land the other ones just for protection, and that's going to stop them from doing a lot of damage if it's good. So I'm bringing my torpedo planes up, and this is where the Saipan really is great, where it just goes really fast. So just if you can see chat right now, it's just starting. There's a bug in the initial release of the 5.5 patch, or update rather, and as soon as planes appear on the screen, all the icons for what's above your ship and the names freeze in place whenever they're spotted. So wherever they're spotted, they just stop. So people are starting to complain, and there's this one guy who keeps saying, "Hey, there's a patch, go to the forums, there's a patch." He's going to keep doing that throughout the game. But either way, I got both my planes up, my torpedoes planes up. I'm going to go attack the Ranger. He's turning away from me, and so I need to go below him. Then I see a Cleveland, but it doesn't seem to be moving. So, I could attack the Ranger more, but even a passive Cleveland is a danger to my plans, especially that's exactly where I need to fly. So I do a long drop, so that way all my torpedoes can converge and I can get 100% hits. So as you can see, they're all converging beautifully. So that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm not going to need the other 3, but I get them anyway. All 6 torpedoes hit, completely eliminate the AFK Cleveland from the game. I don't know where he was, but either way, I don't want him to be shooting at me or my planes or my teammates. So it's better him than me. So in the long time of me taking my planes around the Miyoko to come back to my ship, we are being capped. So once I'm past the Miyoko, I put all my planes back to the ship, and they're going to fly right over the cap circle, and hopefully I can spot what I assume was the DD, because there was a DD that went south through the strait, and we also had our destroyer that went up through the strait, and ours has the little gray box, so ours is dead. We start taking fire from the Mayhem, so that means, or we start taking fire from the cap circle, which means that that Mayhem hasn't turned off his defensive AA fire. I initially put my squadron with 2 to look at him, but then I realized it's probably better I return him to the ship, get that last fighter up, and I'm going to put my other fighter squadron to try and spot him for my team. But he's being smart and he's staying in the smoke because he hasn't appeared on the minimap. Everybody pings the map to get it. So what am I thinking now? I'm thinking there's not much on the eastern side, so I'm going to start putting my torpedo planes up north to the western side, because that's where a lot of their planes or their ships are. And right now is when I see all the planes coming back south, which I realize then I've kind of been failing my team because I left my fighter squadrons away from them, so I haven't been able to protect them. But luckily enough, they got scared off by that Ioba, and they haven't actually done any strikes yet because I scared them off. They had to go land, and now they just got re-released because U.S. Navy carriers, they take a while to rearm their planes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still trying to get that Mayhem spotted. My plane drifts a little bit because I didn't set many waypoints. So I'm starting to send my my fighter and my torpedo planes north to see what I can do, but my team doesn't seem to be pushing very hard, and we're still being capped. I don't know why it's taking this long to find this Mayhem, but he's not stupid. He's hiding, but that smoke's not going to last forever. So soon enough, it'll come there. And actually, I even started rerouting my torpedo bombers because, you know, if they're not going to do it, I might as well try and put something in there because we need to get this torpedo destroyer spotted. Right there, I try and get a little bit on the enemy torpedo bombers, but I didn't feel like flying all the way into that massive anti-aircraft fire. Granted, it's mostly battleships, but 3 battleships worth of AA is enough that I don't want to mess with it. Finally, we spot the Mayhem, and he's at low health, and my planes are already over here, so now it's a little bit too much or too little, so I'm gonna just keep my plane flying to make it look, but he thankfully ticks down and dies because I really don't want to waste some torpedoes off of it. So I continue my planes over to the eastern side because we don't have that many ships over there, and I didn't really see what it was. So I'd rather have the eastern flank cleared up so that way that battleship can go around, get onto the flank, and really get some good damage, and that way we can, you know, pincer move this the enemy team. I don't like going against the Cleveland like I mentioned before, but either way, I'm gonna have both my ships coming at him at this, or both my planes coming at him at the same time. But he's so low that I just kind of bail out and say, you know, friendly, you can kill him because I don't want to do it. And my one squadron, it's really kind of dying, so I'm just like, screw it, I'll send one at him, and of course he's turning away. But you know, so I've got one off. But oh, what's this? he's turning into it. Will he hit it? I don't know. Ah, yes. Right on the nose. Just the tip. That's all we needed. And again, my other torpedo squadron has gotten whittled down to 2 from that Cleveland. So I figure it's better just to kill the rest of them and then, you know, get it back to my ship faster. With the Saipan, yes, the hangar isn't that big, but the squadrons are so small that, you know, you might as well just... You can lose a squadron or 2. So can we do it again? Hit the nose? Ah, just missed it. Oh well. So we lost all of our planes there, but it's no matter because they're going to be up in, you know, 30 seconds anyway. So now I see all the planes, and since I was focusing so much on the northeast, I didn't protect my teammates again. So I failed them twice in this game. I could have been there to protect that destroyer, and he probably would still be alive. So because there's only one ship on the eastern side, and it seems that all their ships are on the northwestern side, I decide I'm going to go towards the center. I like to keep my ship as close to the action as possible while being still safe, because I just don't want to take that long, so that way I can maximize my damage by having planes back and forth as fast as possible. So my next plan right here is I'm going to gather both planes right into the center where they won't be spotted, go up the channel, and try and take out their CV. I assume he was last spotted around the B3 area, so he's probably going to be staying around there. So if I can take my fast planes, go up and over, I can take him out, and that way I can ensure the safety of my teammates a little bit better. So my two battleships, they're kind of charging into the other battleships, and they're not doing it in a favorable way. They're giving them too much broadside. The other battleships are positioned a whole lot better. So I don't have too much confidence, which is another reason why I'm making sure that I am going to go to the center and stay away from them, stay outside of gun range. So I've caught up to the Ranger, and he has already started to position against me. And oh man, there's the enemy destroyer, another AFK player on the other team. So it's a lot better for us. So we get one good salvo off with 2 hits, and he's continuing his turn, and he's not going to stop his turn. So I'm just going to predict where he's going to be, send him another 3, and I'm going to hit with all 3. We didn't need him, but we still got all 3, which is always nice. So you'll see here, this is one of those bugs. On the minimap, my fighter squadron just passed right by the enemy planes, and that's because I couldn't see them. They still appeared like they were up around the carrier, which is why I was sending my fighter there. So I didn't see them because their little icon was still up in the north. So that's when, you know, I, I, I was up here. I'm trying to select them or figure out where a good strafing run is, but I couldn't select them. So therefore, I realized when I goofed. And also, it stayed there on the minimap too, so that was the bug that was happening. So as you can see, I have my carrier down here, and I know there's only one battleship and that destroyer. So I figure, might as well. I'll just go up straight with my carrier, get as close as possible. Maybe I'll get some capture points. So my initial idea is I'm going to just erase that destroyer from the game, and then that's when I notice, hey, look, the planes are actually here. So I do a strafing run, I try and kill them. I know this is not the most exciting thing to watch, plane versus plane action. I know it's a little X-rated, but not for the sight of children. So a bunch more planes down from a strafing strike, and then I kill them off. Still waiting for my torpedoes to rearm. And there we go. I think we're just about to kill the rest of the planes. And then I'm going to keep the rest of my planes there. Okay, so I've sent my torpedo planes to the last location of the battleship. I wasn't sure if he was going to be heading towards our cap or back to his, so that's why I sent them a little bit further south than needed. So now I see he's going to his cap, and I'm just going to, go at him, try and get some good torpedoes on him. I didn't really get a good of an angle on this because I can see he's turning in, so I should have gone a little bit more to the left. And he even got me all the way down to 1. So what I do here is not only do I bring my other torpedo bomber in with my fully armed torpedo bombers, so that way the damage is split between the two, but that way I can also, just in case if he wants to shoot it down, it'll be a faster rearm. So But that is an interesting trick for anybody who is okay with sacrificing one of their planes. Is if you have a smaller squadron, keep it in the area where the battleship or the other ship is, so that way that ship has to split the damage between your two squadrons. So that way it's not, unless they command click it to it. So that helps your torpedoes survive. And like you saw, I was able to get all three of my torpedo bombers onto the target, and they didn't die before they left. So he's definitely charging us, and my the auto pilot, I had confidence that it wasn't going to run me aground because I set enough waypoints that you can't see in a replay. So again, I'm gonna send out my torpedoes or my torpedo bombers against the Nagato, because he's the real threat here. The AFK destroyer, it'd be nice to go get him, but in the end, we only have 3 minutes left, and if we need to cap before we can get to that destroyer, we have to do it. So I'm just checking right here to make sure that I have that island between me. And right here I'm actually setting a waypoint to go into the island, like I'm steering directly into the island so I can keep the island between me and the Nagato and save myself. Again, I don't really do that good of a job for my torpedo strike. I was figuring, I might as well just get some damage into it because there's, he's really low, and I might as well just throw them at him. I'm really close by. It's not going to take that long. But I figure on this one I'll get a good strike. And he also doesn't move, or he doesn't keep turning, so I get a really good 2 torpedoes on him. And that's our 4th kill of the game. So I've kept the destroyer lit, and I'm sure everybody's going to start shooting at him. So gotta land my torpedo bombers and then go after him. It's actually nice that the AFK destroyer decided not to keep his anti-aircraft on, because nobody's shooting at me. So as you can see, they are going to be shooting this guy down. I ask in chat, like, hey, maybe can I get a 5th kill for the Kraken, but they're not obligated to, and the game ends before they do it anyway. So obviously that was a victory. That wasn't surprising, but the thing that did surprise me was the 11,457 experience that I earned from this battle. I know that it's a premium ship, and it gets some better experience, and also the 5.5 gave a 2x, but I don't run any extra flags to gain extra experience, so that was what surprised me from this game. And also, the 826,000 credits that I got. Premium ships, they really are worth it in the silver. So from this we got 16 torpedo strikes, we shot down 41 planes, and we sunk 4 ships. Going into the team score, we earned 2,546 base experience, which is 1,000 more than our closest ally. That's always good when we have a really good result like that. And then the detailed report, it's not going to be anything that you haven't seen before, other than the 100,482 damage that we got just with our torpedo strikes. Those 16 torpedoes did quite a bit of damage. So that was my awesome game in the Saipan. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know I enjoyed playing it. What you'll probably be seeing on the screen right now is a little bit of the chat where that guy keeps saying how there's a patch. And by the time you guys see this, there will have been a patch, so I don't mean to keep talking about that bug, because it was not really that big of an issue. So please subscribe and like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, put a big thumbs down. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Van Rustic.